Follow boy, shawty on his track, though I am killing it.
What's going on, Ultimate Hoops Nation? It's the Black Joey Crawford here, aka Brandon Barkley.
Billy Moon, coming straight out of Flint, Michigan.
Yeah, we're here to talk about Week 2 in Ultimate Hoops here in Dallas. Recap all those scores and those great games, and look forward to our key matchups next week. Billy, I'll be honest, what I saw in DAC was two really tight contests. Downtown Hoopers might be for real this year.
So tell me about this. Downtown Hoopers, 0 for the century, and now they're losing only 3 to Backyard All-Stars. Who's no offense, Scrivens. You guys are supposed to be a juggernaut.
Right.
What happened there?
Man, I tell you what, I mean, I don't know what it is. That team just looks re-energized. I mean, they added some youth. You got Justin in there, Justin Mulsry, and Brad Duzick.
Yeah, Brad.
They've gotten some youth to them, and they used to be like the laughing stock, I guess you could say, of DAC, just because they just had a bunch of old guys.
Yeah, I wouldn't call a laughing stock, because if you ever, you ever get next to Ken, and he's never laughing after those losses.
Absolutely, yeah. Ken Shelton, he's not going to be joking around after those losses at all. But yeah, they've really gotten their act together. Ken's controlling the glass at a high rate and finishing his layups. So I gotta admit, man, Downtown Hoopers are looking great, and maybe Backyard. Where you at? Where you at, guys? I don't know what's going on.
I looked through there, and I saw great games from Martin Salinas.
Yep.
Martin, he's pretty much unstoppable. If you're scoring on Vinny like that, then you're a great player. A little disappointment from a few players on Backyard. It looked like a couple of players, maybe one had a negative PPR. There, so I'm not sure what's going on there. You guys can check the box score, but you guys step up your game, guys. They're not all like Downtown Hoopers over there, or here for that matter either.
Yeah, if you're going to be competing for championships, as was said on many comment boards, I think you need to be beating the teams you're supposed to beat by well over 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're challenging the Backyard All-Stars right here. Step your game up.
Exactly, and I'd say the other matchup that really stood out to me would have been Scoregasms and Dallas Dimes.
Okay.
The chippiest game I think I've seen in downtown in quite a while.
Yeah.
Man.
Dallas Dimes, new team, but familiar players, right?
Exactly. They added a few new faces, which are definitely, impacted their team, maybe giving them a little chip on their shoulder. Travis Allison definitely plays with some attitude. EJ Navarez, same thing. Those guys really are coming out there playing hard, and they actually took a chance to have Ryan Ozada and Josh Small come off the bench.
Wow, that's a big bench.
I know, exactly. Those are two of the better players in the league coming off the bench with these new additions. So, you get with that all coming to play. Those guys are going to be tough this year. They squeaked out a win against Scoregasms, but it was a physical game. There was a lot of jawing going back and forth.
Honestly, I like both of those teams to be right there when it comes down to it. Either semifinal teams or finals and championship teams. I love what the Dallas Dimes can do. They're not Dallas Dimes' new team, but Perkins, Ozada, EJ, the IQ is crazy off the charts with those guys. And then Scoregasms, you can't. What can you say about those guys? They push everybody to the limit, and coming in, you got a game when you play those guys. And I can attest, from experience to that point. Just a great team. They play together. They just really give everything they got.
Yeah, those guys are just scrappy, and Anson Bartlett is just on a tear this year.
The guy's crazy smooth. Crazy smooth.
He's kind of like Jackie Moon.
Yeah, Jackie Moon, all the way. Have you ever seen someone with handles like Anson has?
He kind of goes into traffic looking for people to try to take it from him so he can make him look silly.
And if I feel sometimes he puts the ball off the glass or off the rim, just because he knows he's going to be in position to grab it and get a better shot out of it.
Yeah, I mean,
Just a great all-around player, defensively, offensively. We were lucky last season in the championship game. He kind of got some cramps, and that helped us go on a run.
Yeah.
Or that would have been a lot closer game.
Yeah, he did the best job I've seen thus far against Justin Denman. I'll say, I mean, Justin was still scoring, but he made him work for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
He made him work for it. For a guy with really not that consistent of a jump shot to be that good of a scorer, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, kudos to you, Anson. Love your game, man.
All right, so yeah, let's move on to Plano. What did you see this week, and what are your thoughts on how the games went down?
Surprise game for me was Tropics versus Torch. Expecting Tropics to really come out and make a statement, getting their squad back this season, have all the pieces there, just came out and they just laid an egg against Torch. Torch had this one from the outset. I don't think they ever let them get within 20 points after about 10 minutes into the first half. They controlled the pace of the game. Torch likes to get out. They like to, with Creston, Faisal, Imtisal, they like to get out there and really control the pace, and that's exactly what they did. Tropics are big, but they really couldn't keep up with that, that mentality and really that game plan that Torch put together.
Yeah, it's really surprising, honestly, that someone could outscore the Tropics by so much, because those guys are such great shooters. They have, 3 or 4 guys on the floor usually that can all hit a three.
Right.
So I mean, it was surprising to watch. And as I looked over to one game and looked back, it became a 20-point lead quite early. So again, very surprising result there.
So and then of course your game. No, I'm just messing around. Direwolves pick up their first win
in 2 seasons.
First win, I would say in 2 seasons. Got their first win. In a couple of probably a couple weeks dating back into last season. So that was a big win for you guys over Splash Brothers. And then another game that I was kind of expecting to be a lot closer was the Soldiers and the Unknowns. Now the Unknowns come in. Soldiers didn't have their best player, Ike, either. Unknowns, they were without Landon Skinner, who I also put as, potential MVP candidate.
Right.
Going forward. He's definitely a sleeper there. The guy's all over the place. The Soldiers came out, they kind of grabbed the lead early, and the Unknowns were on the ropes the whole game trying to come back.
Yeah, and I think they're trying to get Mike Seals in the fold as well, bringing him in. Like you said last week, you said they're unknown.
Right. Mike Seals, great pickup, but more so of a role player, a good role player than someone that can really handle the load and scoring. Now, we can absolutely right now bring in one of the Unknowns captain, Reggie Brown. All right, so Reggie, you guys picked up Landon this season. Got a good squad. James wasn't there. Landon wasn't there this week. And Cam, Cam Spencer, making his return to the league this season.
Right.
What did you see in the Soldiers this past game, and what do you see for your team moving forward? Talk big picture into the playoffs and the championship.
Right. So the Soldiers are obviously a great team. They've definitely been, a Final Four team, it seems, the last 2-3 seasons. Right. Definitely have some veterans that have been playing for a while. Paul Starr, obviously, is a point guard. I think they can be a great team and maybe even go further this year if, he's less turnover prone. Right. That definitely seems to be the issue with them. They have, big men inside. They have guys that can shoot the three.
A big man.
Big man. And I say that lightly, right? I mean, the dude looks like hope. Yeah. Right. But, he's definitely very talented. So is the rest of the team. But with the Unknowns, it really is unknown for us this year, right? We kind of put a difference between, OVO and our old Illuminati team back together and trying to get, the brothers to band together to go ahead and win a championship. But definitely with the emergence of Landon Skinner, getting Big Cam back in the mix, and to think it was a 4-point game most of the game. And then for me to get my bounce back, I definitely think, we'll turn a new leaf this season.
So tell us, last season you came in, your shot was flat. It was. You weren't making anything.
Well, thank you.
I think you're probably around 20% on 3-pointers.
Right.
This season so far, 53%.
Right.
What's been the change for you?
I mean, look, a shooter's going to go through different slumps, right? But it's all about your confidence, your mental psyche, and where you're at, right? And not to, be cliche, but I feel like I got my swag back. Definitely playing with Landon, someone who I played with, for a long time, has definitely helped me get some confidence. And, being in the gym, 2 to 3 times a week has also helped that process.
What is Landon going to do for you guys that you haven't had in the past?
So the good thing about Landon is he's very high energy, right? Offensively and defensively. And his motor is always going, always going. So that time to where we need a bucket, right? He's the guy who can go get it, right? The time that we need to stop or we need some energy or a momentum change, he's going to be the guy. He's our catalyst, right? He's going to make that engine really turn a little faster than it's already turning.
Well, I appreciate you stopping by. Really excited to see what the unknowns are going to do for the rest of the season, especially against, as we combine playoffs again, getting to go up against some of the DAC teams. Super excited to see how you guys match up with teams like the Tropics, teams like Billy's House, teams like Getting Older.
Yeah, we're not worried about Billy's House.
Getting a lot, you'll get a lot of telltale signs throughout the season that'll really be able to give you guys a benchmark going into the playoffs and let you know kind of where you are and where you need to work and where you need to pick up the pace. Yeah, most definitely. So, I appreciate you guys. Plano, kind of the game to watch. Not a lot of great matchups in Plano this week. The one that, I'm kind of going with this week is my team, Billy's House versus the Unknowns. We just had Reggie Britton in, and they have a good squad. There's no doubt about it. When they have everyone here, they're going to be tough to beat. From the point guard position to their center play, they're going to be probably above average at every position compared to all the other teams in the league. So, looking forward to seeing how one of my team handles them from a defensive standpoint. Like, how are we going to guard them? Are we going to be able to move back and forth from man to 2-3? And then, who's going to score the ball for us? Who's going to be that go-to scorer that we haven't really had this season? The points have been a little bit distributed throughout 2 or 3 different players. We don't have that 55 a game score anymore. So it's who's going to step up and really lead this team. Even though we're 2-0, who's going to lead this team in scoring?
Yeah, I mean that was when I look at that game, I just think of, man, those matchups both ways are going to be tough. I mean, who's going to stop Harrison, and who's going to stop Reggie? Who's going to be able to guard a lot of those guys on the Unknowns? I mean, they're tough one-on-one matchups. That's kind of what Reggie does. He's a one-on-one scorer.
Yep. Step
backs, all those type of things. Same thing with Jimmy Jones coming from Billy's team. It's going to be tough to see if anybody can stay in front of that guy. He's super, super quick. And then don't leave Billy open for 3. I know he's going to be modest about it, but he can hit some threes. So that team, it's going to be a very good matchup. I think that's one of the games that's going to come down to literally the wire. I think that might be an OT or a regulation right at the buzzer type of game. I got to say, I think that this might be the time. This might be the time you guys lose. I think the Unknowns, maybe they pull it all together. Now, the whole team has to be there for them to have a chance to beat you guys, but the whole team's there. I got to give them the nod.
All right. Well, we know how your predictions usually go. So, well, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you guys enjoy watching this as much as we enjoy making it and getting to get in front of you guys and really give it a little bit extra for all of you who put in the extra work and coming out and playing in the league. And we're lucky to get to do what we get to do.
Thanks for watching.